We're good.
All right.
Welcome to that's what we're doing this episode. Welcome to A for Entrepreneurs. I'm Adam.
All right, this is Drew.
I'm pretty excited about today.
I'm so stoked. We've got so many new things happening here.
Everything's new. First of all, I want to say shout out to all of you guys watching, you guys and girls watching out there. We have live going on Facebook. We have 4 different camera angles going. We got one there.
2,
3,
4,
so
5, 6.
Oh yeah, if you count the lives, we got 5, 6, 7,
That's
8.
insane.
It's great.
Full lighting.
Yeah,
Full
full
lighting?
studio lighting.
All
so
right,
lots of upgrades.
Sorry.
I
Guys,
want to
gotta
say
get
thank
back out of
you
here. That's too much work.
to everybody that listened and watched last week. We had 1,000 views on the podcast video. That's
Wow.
a first for us.
That's unreal.
Yeah.
Like, I was impressed. I found myself almost like, wow, when 3 people started watching.
Yep.
To say 1,000 people
That's how I felt
saw
too.
it's really exciting. We appreciate you so much.
We also went
For watching.
from 18 listeners per episode to 24 per average. So we have 12 episodes. So obviously that was like 70 plays this past not even week. So it's definitely the most we've had as the podcast. And we really want to thank you, the listener out there, and watcher. If you're watching on Facebook, shout out to you. If you're watching on YouTube or IGTV or listening to it on your favorite podcast channel, make sure you subscribe. Do a 5-star review for us too, because that'll help us reach even more people.
If it's good. If we suck, go ahead and give us one.
Give us a 1-star
We'll
review,
we'll
but
understand
don't
if
give
we're
up on
really bad.
listening to us, because maybe we could change that 1-star to a 5-star
let
eventually.
us know what you think is really
Let us
good
help you.
or really bad about our podcast, so that we can.
Only good. Don't tell me bad. I'm just kidding. Totally just kidding. But what have you been up to this week, man?
Well, not so much. I mean, it's only been a couple of days since we last spoke, but last time I did mention that I was in a toss-up between what I really wanted to do and what I kind of thought I wanted to do.
Mhm.
So I ended up making a decision whether or not I wanted to move to a 40-hour position where I'd make a ton of money, or
And walk us
really
through the whole
stick.
thing when you tell us this too, like from walking in the building to the interview to everything. How did it go?
The interview went great. All right, so it was with a gentleman that I know very well, and he runs the show. So I walk in there. It's the building is beautiful, like 5-star. It almost looks like Google headquarters, where like this company has a lot of money. I walk in, and he shows me like this whole manufacturing plant. They're making like parts to put into people's bones, like if their knees fail or whatever, you get like a fake prosthetic. They're making those and manufacturing them. So we walk in, we see this cafeteria. It's buzzing with like good energy. Everything's renovated. There's glass and silver, and it's beautiful. And we go up to the main area, and this is what he's in charge of. And he's in charge of kind of like making anchors to screw inside bone, and the whole thing, testing sutures and things like that. So the interview went great. It was a really great walkthrough. He did a great job with a great company. But I just had this feeling of like claustrophobia, where I kind of went back in time and remembered where I was at in 40 hours per week.
Yep.
I just couldn't do it. And
I kind of figured it was going to happen that way.
I mean, I didn't make up my mind during the interview. I really thought long and hard about it, and I ended up deciding like there was just something inside in my gut saying, "Nah, not yet, not yet. Eventually, you might have to, but at this very moment, it's not being forced." So, I'm decided to hold off on getting a full-time job.
So,
and really pursuing other things.
Explain to the people that might not know what you mean by you felt claustrophobic.
Well, the thing is, like, if you're an entrepreneur or an artist or a creative, not saying that I'm either of those,
He is.
But what happens is, like, you you just know that you can't do whatever it is that you're doing. You can't. No matter what it is, like I think I've told this before, but I'll recap again. I remember like I've had a lot of jobs, like starting from when I was 16, and I'd go in and it would be cool. It'd be cool for a month, 2 months, but at some point I'd realize, oh man, I feel like going into this job. It's like this is killing me. Every single day, I'd get like sick. I wouldn't be able to sleep well. It's just not fun. And then eventually you realize, okay, you put the blame on the current job. You're like, it's maybe if I do this job, maybe if it's something more related to my field, I'll be happier, right? So I'd do that. I'd move from one job to a more specific job, and then same deal again and again and again. And this happened like 4 or 5 times until I finally hit a point where like, okay, once I graduate and get my degree in medical laboratory science, then I'll be happy because this is so in touch with what I want to do. And then I get into that field, and I'm like, I can't do this, and that's pretty much what told me, if it's not this, it's not that, it's not this, nothing. There's no job that I'm going to be able to take and be completely happy with.
No amount of money a job can pay you.
Yeah.
No amount of benefits they can give you, like that can make you not want to work for yourself.
Yeah, I mean, the money is a good temporary, because, like, money, again, like I said last week, it's super important. Money is super important. What you can do with it after you save it, store it away, that's really important.
Or invest it into stocks, something
but, like
that.
when or a house, or opening a business, or paying employees, or, I mean, whatever the case may be. Even buying art during a recession. But, like, at the end of the day, you got to do something that you really love to do, and that's really hard to do. How did you find out what you really love to do?
Just kind of the same, years and years of just job after job that just felt like it wasn't gonna work out. Like I started working when I was 14. By the time I was 17, I probably worked more hours than most people do in their 20s and 30s. I was working 2 jobs, and in high school, so I'd go to school till 2 o'clock. Work 3 to 9 or 10 p.m. depending if they caught me.
Yeah.
Because I was under 18. And, from there I tried out a few different colleges and everything, and that didn't really work out either, and I'm still in a little bit of debt from it. Definitely not as much as you are. It was only about 9% of that debt, but I only went for a semester. Yeah. That's what's crazy about it. So I went for 1 semester. You finished 7 years, right?
It took me a long time. I'm not a smart student.
That doesn't mean... Because that was one of the things... Remember I told you to listen back on the podcast? And you said that I'm not smart. It took me 7 years. And to me, that doesn't tell me you're not smart. It tells me that school is just not your thing.
It wasn't
just not your thing.
It's not
for some people, like me... Personally, I can't stand school. I just can't learn sitting down, being in a classroom, being taught the same thing as thousands of other people.
Yeah, it's that route learning that just doesn't mesh with
not
you.
A fan.
But like, you know what? There's so many people that like that works.
Yep.
And they like that a lot.
Yep.
I am so envious, because that is such a solid pathway.
Yeah. It sucks, though, because, like, people like us, part of being an entrepreneur, I feel like, is kind of seeing that quality in people that might not see it in themselves.
Yeah,
you know?
Totally.
Like, I have friends who I think are extremely, extremely talented and could do something on their own, but it's the most scary thing in the fucking world, so we can't take that risk, right? That's what most people think.
Yeah.
People like us, just for some reason, like, we don't just dip our toe in. We're just like, cannonball! It's just, right. I don't. It's a very hard line, because, like, I feel like the typical 9-to-5 people might not understand, and they might kind of think that we're talking down to them or something.
Yeah, it's not the case at all.
And it's not at all. Like, we all have our grinds. We have our ways to make money and support our families. You know, that's the most important thing, is supporting yourself, supporting your family, you know, and do what you gotta do. If you gotta be a stripper, hey, more power to you.
Right, if that's what you love to do, strip. Go.
Get naked, hey.
Go do it.
Show a nipple.
Actually, I kind of had an epiphany this weekend. You know, like, every once in a while you'll have those moments where you just like,
something
clicks. And it's like, I've never realized this before, but for me, found the secret to discipline. And I found it within the roots of meditation. So what I've been really doing lately, I've been doing a lot of like physical activity, but I've also been doing heavy cold training.
Yeah, you've been telling me about that.
So what I found out this past weekend was, I woke up, and the second I woke up, I registered that I didn't want to go in the cold, right? Because you're warm, you're in bed, you got the comforter, and you're so comfortable.
Yep.
Like, you don't even want to get out of bed because it's cold in the room. So the first thing I did was I registered that I don't want to do it, and now you move on, just like in meditation.
Yeah.
Where you kind of like, okay, you hear this sound, you focus on it, you notice it, you let it go. It was the same thing. So I'm like, okay, I don't want to do this, but get up anyway. So I got up, and then I just started thinking like, okay, what are the steps that I need to do in order to go do that? So stripped down, stepped into a pair of board shorts, not even thinking about it, just doing it. Just doing it, step, step, step. I went down my stairs, opened the slider door, closed it behind me, felt cold because I was outside. It was like 8 in the morning. It was probably like 40 degrees. I felt the cold and moved on. Right? So it is super hard. You know, it is loopy. It sounds crazy because that is really hard.
I was outside in jeans and a hoodie, and I was still like, this isn't enough. Why am I not in bed?
Yeah, and like that's okay. And like the thing is, like, I kept going. I was like, next step. Peel off the cover. I have a tub in my backyard. It's kind of like a trough that horses drink out of, and I have it filled with water. I peeled back the cover and I chipped away at the ice, and I stuck a thermometer in 33 degrees, I think it was, and I'm like, okay, that's really cold. Don't think about it. Move on. And then you just keep going. Lift one leg, place one leg in. It's cold, realize it, move on. And then before you know it, you went from being in bed to now being submerged up to your neck in ice water, screaming at 8 in the morning. But like the point is, it all boils down to discipline, right? So discipline is so hard. It's so hard to do things that you don't want to do because I don't like to be cold. That's the hardest.
Nobody does.
It is the hardest thing because that's one thing that can kill you.
Yeah.
Right. So if you
like how
do
do you
that
know
long
when
enough,
how do you know when your body's done? Like when you have to get out, you have to go, and do you have to like hop into a hot shower after, or like?
Usually what I'll do is like I've been doing this for so long that I kind of take my body temperature before and after and like during. So I kind of realized that I looked up some statistics, and hypothermia is when your body reaches like 93 or something like that. So typically I stay around there, or it might be 94, and then severe cases goes down to 92. So I don't go past 93. So once I get to the point where, like, if I stop shivering, I know it's a problem. I'll go inside. But like
if I know I'm on the verge of dying, I might go inside.
Yeah, like I know I'm in my backyard. I'm not in any real danger. You know, and I would rather be really close to being miserable and hypothermic outside my own yard than 6 miles into the woods in New Hampshire on a mountain somewhere being like, I broke my leg, I can't keep myself warm. Oh shit, I'm glad at least I prepared for this somehow.
Yeah.
You know? And it's the discipline, and it goes back to
everything.
Like strengthening everything. If you've got good discipline, you can do anything. And that's what I realized is you just do it. You don't think about it.
Oh look, Sean Bryan's watching.
What's going on, Sean? So yeah, that was my little click this weekend. It was nice.
Nice. Well, I'm gonna end the live video so that we can read the questions, because I put a status up today. This is a new thing that AA for Entrepreneurs is doing. We are going to have you guys send in your questions to us so we can answer them. We are not, the gurus of anything. We are not, we haven't been doing this forever. We're pretty new entrepreneurs.
We're schmucks.
We're schmucks. But gaining somebody else's insight might be able to help you. So if this almost makes me not want to end the live just in case somebody has a question.
Just email it to us. If you have a question.
Yeah, aaforentrepreneurs@gmail.com or at aaforentrepreneurs at Instagram.
Yeah.
On Instagram, that's what I meant.
Or DM us on
DM us.
Instagram. Look, there's so many ways you can reach out to us.
Let me end this live video real quick so that way I can...
So one thing I realized with when you have to hold the camera, so I was doing the live IG version, and when you have to hold the camera, I mean, that really takes away from your mental effort.
75 people watch that.
That's amazing. I appreciate the 75 who watched the live stream. You guys are incredible, and we would be that tree in the forest that falls and no one's around to hear it if it wasn't for you guys.
Yep.
So couldn't appreciate it more.
Round of applause for you guys.
Oh, that sound quality, though.
Oh, that's going to hurt somebody's ear in their loudspeakers.
Maybe.
So, the first question comes from my longtime friend and music partner, Casher. He asks, can a business survive today without social media? What do you think?
I think that yes. I think it can definitely survive without social media. Will it thrive? I don't think it can thrive without social media. I think social media is really important, but I definitely think it can survive. I mean, it might struggle. Like, what do you think? I'm going to think of examples, but
Good, because that actually leads into my thought. I think it depends on what kind of business you're running. If you are running anything that involves sales, you're probably going to fail without social media. True, false?
I'd say yeah. I'd say that's really.
If you're running some kind of restaurant where you have, I think there's a restaurant in Boston called like Hole in the Wall or something like that, and it's not really advertised online. It's just one of those places where everybody knows where it is.
Yeah.
And things like that can work because it's kind of like a niche thing.
Okay.
Where like you have a specialty restaurant and only word of mouth people know about it, and it's in a hidden place. Like there's other places where you can hike through like a cave into a restaurant, stuff like that. Like
yeah, that's really cool. Like I even think like social media would help that.
It would.
Think.
Like, but the secrecy is part of like the thing.
It would survive. Like that actually reminds me. I don't know where this place is. It might be in Washington D.C., but there's a place where you go into like a convenience store, like a not a boutique, but like a.
It's a bodega.
Bodega is the word I was looking for.
Yeah.
So you go into this bodega and you kind of like press a few buttons on the Coke bottle machine.
Yep.
The vending machine, and then it opens a door, and you go inside that door, and they sell like high-end sneakers. Like nobody really knows about it. It's super secret. Yep. So they definitely don't have a Facebook page or a social media.
And they might be knockoff sneakers, so be careful when you go into that bodega.
I don't know much about it. I don't even know where it is. It's super secret.
It's probably New York, though. Bodegas are a New York thing.
It's got it must be New York.
But there's got to be. I think maybe like landscaping businesses and stuff like that could survive without social media, but obviously, like again, back to your point, they'll thrive much more if you just embrace social media.
Yeah,
embrace it for what it is.
Actually, I went through a whole list of local businesses this morning. I actually made a huge list, and a lot of them don't have social media. So, well, like they have a Facebook page, but they haven't been on it since 2012.
Yep.
And they're surviving. They've been alive.
Yep.
But again, like
those are the people we need to like help.
That's what I'm saying.
They need to understand that in order to get their business to the next spot, they need social media.
Hey, Casher, great question.
Great
sound like Roger Rabbit. So yeah, what's the second question?
All right. Next question is. I'll have you read it.
Sure. Okay. What is it that makes entrepreneurship so appealing to you, and where do you recommend a new entrepreneur start?
And that was asked by Brian Saunders, owner of Pinewood Camp Lodge in Carver. So, what is it that drives us to being entrepreneurs? I think it's the macro. It's knowing that at the end of my life, 70 years old or whenever they make retirement age by the time we get there, I'm not going to be happy if I'd spent it working for somebody else my whole life. I'm probably going to have limited money in my old age because of it. And I'm probably going to have a laundry list full of regrets.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of what I learned just talking to older people. You know, Gary talks about that all the time. Like, go into a nursing home and talk to these
Yeah.
old people and
Listen
gain
to
some
them.
perspective. And I have worked at nursing homes, and I've seen the regret, and I've seen the other people that are on the other side of regret, never had a job, and they were super fucking happy, and it's awesome. But that's, you know, my why, and I want to be able to build something that I can hand down. You know, like
Very good point. Yeah, a legacy.
a legacy. You know, I want my kids to be able to work for my company, and I mean, if they don't do good, you get fired, but hopefully they'll be able to, you know,
Yeah.
grab the helm.
No seventh place
Yeah,
trophies.
no seventh place trophies in my team. You win first, or you get like all right, you did okay getting second, but you didn't win. What can we do to win?
So how exactly was the question framed again?
It was what is it that attracts you to being an entrepreneur,
Okay,
and
I got it. Yeah. So
or
I
what makes
think
it so appealing? Same thing though.
I think it's the inability to do anything else.
Mm.
So you just get this feeling that, like, I feel like I'm being irradiated. If you're at a job and you're like, this is just no, like kind of like what I touched on earlier. It's like you're in this space and you're like, I can't do this, and you try
Mm.
something else, can't do this, can't do this, can't do this. Then you just realize there's no other option. It's not even like maybe it's like there's literally no other option.
And
It's like so vibrant.
so this interview that you had with this job that would have paid you more than you've ever gotten paid in your life
It's
was
vodka.
was this was this kind of what solidified, like really let you know that this is your journey, like this is your path?
No, I've always knew it. Like this job, if I had taken it, it was only going to be temporary.
Mm.
Like it was from the beginning, it was only going to be temporary. But I just wanted to have a builder, a bigger base
Yep.
of cash in which I could lean on, if you will, or use if the economy went to shit. But I'm like, that would be so hard. I couldn't do it. Even, yeah, no. No, I'd rather just hustle it out and grind until I can figure it out. And what was the second part?
What would you recommend? Where do you recommend a new entrepreneur starts?
I recommend, if someone who thinks that they're an entrepreneur or wants to be an entrepreneur, I recommend you start doing something you absolutely hate. Because if you're doing something that you absolutely hate, that's all it's going to need for you to light the fire, for you to be like, this is the worst. I never want to do anything like this ever again, and then that'll point you in the right direction. And you keep doing that. I hate this. I hate this. Try something else. Don't be afraid to try something else. It's super important.
I
What do you think?
Yeah, I wouldn't say do things you hate. Maybe I wouldn't word it that way, but the way I would word it is uh try a bunch of things that make you uncomfortable. Like try new things that you probably thought you would never try ever, like podcasting.
Yeah.
Like I didn't think I would ever get back into like radio and podcasting and stuff like that, you know? And I never really thought I would ever really be starting like a media company. Like Hunter Zone started as just a studio. I mean, it was a lot more than just a studio in the sense that we were able to mix, master, record, engineer, do green screen, music videos, everything.
Multi.
But like now it's evolved so much past that where we don't need a physical location yet. In the future, hopefully that will be coming. But I never thought I'd be doing like any of the things I'm doing, to be honest.
Yeah.
Thinking back to 2 years ago when I moved back to Massachusetts to be with my son more,
Mm-hmm.
I'm working at T-Mobile, a regional position at T-Mobile at 26 years old. I thought I was just gonna be chilling. Like I was still working on business stuff because I feel like I suffocate if I don't work on my own business stuff. But at the same token, I was like, you know, I'm making really good money here. I'm just gonna chill. My job is literally to help build business, but with T-Mobile as my backer.
Right. That was
Yeah.
the experience.
Yeah. That was like AT&T and T-Mobile was like the huge experience for me, like just learning how to business build. But then also the experience of knowing that I could climb to almost the tippity top of the ladder and still not be happy. Like, that's a
Way to
realization in
go.
itself, you know? So, for an entrepreneur, what I would say is make yourself uncomfortable and don't be scared to work yourself to the fucking bone. Because I remember when I was working for AT&T, I would literally work 9:30 to 7:30, if not later. If I had a customer that came in the store, I'm staying to finish that sale, to get the sale, you know.
For sure.
And then after that, I'm going to the studio, and you know, I didn't have clients always, but then sometimes I'd go to the studio 8 to 1, and then wake up and do it again. Like,
Yeah.
and then then you know, I would, the next day, instead of working with the client, I'd be going home to mix and master their stuff, you know, or a cashier would be mixing and mastering their
Dude,
stuff.
it's all day.
Literally.
It's all day.
All day. And like cashier says all the time, like, you know, I respect your hustle with being an entrepreneur. I don't know how you do it, but like, I respect that shit because I like coming home and just shutting off.
Yeah, some people do. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, definitely.
So how would you guys, viewers, how would you answer that question?
Yeah. Actually, how would you answer
either one
both of those questions? The first question was, do you think a business can survive without social media? And then the other question, well, I guess, so we'll take out the first part of the second question because that was directed towards us. But, well...
Direct it towards yourself.
Yeah, so if you are an entrepreneur, what attracts you to being an entrepreneur? And where do you think entrepreneurs should start? Step one. Let us know in the comments of wherever you're watching. If you're listening on the podcast, go to either Instagram or email us or something. Send in these questions. Next podcast, we'll answer the listeners' questions.
Not while you're driving. Wait till you stop.
Yeah, do that. Or use voice to text or something. Don't text and drive.
Yes, bad. You know what I was thinking the other day? What was I thinking the other day? Completely lost it. Maybe subconsciously I decided that I didn't want to say it. So my brain said, nope, shut off, I forgot.
Could be. Were you going to talk about that?
No, I was going to talk about, so you know how, like, distracted driving, right? Like, you can't even go on your phone to change a song. Real quick, like 2 seconds. You can't do it. That's distracted driving, get pulled over. However, they put up billboards that people can look at as they drive by. Same thing.
Or how about cops?
Yeah.
You drive by them
and they've got a laptop.
Hey,
Yeah.
I'm fucking Twitch streaming right now.
Like some of the older ones are still on AIM.
Oh, man. Oh, the AIM and the other cops. Hey, buddy, what's up?
Yeah.
No, that's just crazy, man. I've seen a fair share of cops on their phones texting.
Yeah, it happens.
All the time.
It's a shame.
I mean, no, I'm not going to incriminate myself. I can't do that.
Yeah, don't do it.
Don't text and drive. I'll just...
Yeah, email us after.
Email us after.
That's the best.
Or send us like a video on Instagram
That
in
would
our
be
in our
cool.
DMs. That would be cool to see these people. If you're watching, like, we don't even know most of you that are watching. Like, we probably know like 5 out of our like 25 listeners that are listening every week. So if you're checking us out, let us know. We want to know if we suck. We want to know if we're good. 5 stars if we're good. No stars if we're bad. Oh, man. What was I about to say?
I'm not sure. What's going on for the next week? Do you have any big goals?
So I unfortunately had a spider mite outbreak.
Oh, those bastards.
They are definitely bastards. If you grow cannabis at all, you know how much of a bitch spider mites are. They suck. So,
How ladybugs?
it's just indoors, and, you know, I just don't know, man. I could see a ladybug infestation happening.
That'd be a good thing, right?
I mean, I like ladybugs. I don't know how.
I think they're nice.
Other
They don't
people
bite.
feel.
I don't think.
Courtney said her father supposedly got bit by one, but I don't believe it, man. I've had a ton land on me, and I've never had them bite me.
I've never had one. I always hold them.
Yeah, I've held multiple ones. Like, we bought a pack of them, and they're crawling all over me and shit, flying everywhere.
Yeah.
But I bombed one of my rooms.
Uh-huh.
In the process of deep cleaning that, and I'm bombing one of my other rooms, and it's making it tough because now the room that I bombed, I can't go to if I go to the room that isn't bombed.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So I have to either plan to go there first or not go there at all. And it's been complicating my weeks quite a bit.
Like that extra step.
Yeah. Until I get it back
a pain.
on cycle and everything's running again. And so I should be up and running by, I was going to say by Friday, but I forgot that Thursday's Thanksgiving. So.
Already.
Yeah, and I'll probably have my son Friday all day, so I won't get to work Friday. And so this weekend's going to be, like, I take Owen weekends off when I see my son. That's, like, the only time I get off. So, man, now I'm kind of like, damn. So now my cycles will be back in place by next Friday. So, I guess that's alright. What's the date on that? Like, December 3rd or some shit? Oh, not even December yet. That's November 30th. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, we got some time.
Yep. What else was I gonna say? I am releasing a talk with Dr. Grinspoon. Sorry, I keep mispronouncing his name. My cat's coming out and he's gonna freak out. Hi, baby.
So when are you gonna release that?
I'm waiting for. I filmed it for Cannabis Growers Association and I released it on my Facebook and they made a little stink about it. Like, this should be on our Facebook. And I'm like, I guess I understand where you're coming from, so I guess I'll just delete it. I already had 200 plays on it, which was kind of disappointing because that was only like 3 hours.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to figure out now how I can like release it to get even more than that. Because now 200 was cool, but it would be cool to get like 1,000 in 3 hours.
Sure. And
he's one of the, bigger known doctors, at least in the area, especially for cannabis. He is an author too. Like, he wrote a book because he was addicted to opiates.
Right.
And
okay.
As a doctor, he talks about how hard that is. Like, it's very easily accessible. But if you have an issue, how can you tell someone, because you're going to lose your doctor's license if you get caught? Like, it's like one of those things where you just got to kind of like deal with it,
right,
like on your own. And it's
kind of like if you have a gun license and you're like, I just want to talk to a therapist. It has nothing to do with like anything violent or anything,
Yep.
but you can't because they'll take your gun license
Yeah,
away. So you gotta like just keep it in.
That's awful. Like, and that goes. That's a whole different topic for a whole other podcast. The issues of mental health that we have in this country.
Yeah, it's a problem. But we're talking about business.
Yeah. Yeah. Man. So what new things do you have planned that you're working on the next week?
So actually, last week or the week before last.
Pause.
One of my business partners and I shot a video commercial, our first one at Striking Beauties. And 2 days ago, that was released by Striking Beauties, and it ended up doing really well. Zach deserves all the credit because he's the videographer, right? So he did all the editing and he took all the shots. But the statistics that we're seeing from that commercial is unbelievable. So the current project that I'm working on now is to gather a list of local businesses and then somehow visit them and kind of show them the statistics from this video and see who else we can help around the area and kind of offer that multimedia, social media marketing assistance. So that
sounds familiar.
Yeah, that's the current project. And I'm just really excited to keep watching the statistics.
So how many people have actually clicked from the ad? Because when you sent it to me, I think 2 had.
Way more than that. I mean, that was like, I think 6 hours after it happened. Like, it's getting.
That screenshot you sent me?
I think so. Yeah. So I don't remember the numbers at this moment, but it's doing like better than anything else that Striking Beauties has posted. So that's the current project, and just kind of seeing seeing how everything goes step by step. I've been really focusing on building my discipline. So actually, this morning, I ended up I'm getting into calisthenics again. So building up strength and like muscle definition. So I did that. Worked my front lever. So front lever is interesting because it's when you hold onto a bar like this, and then you kind of make your body go like a lever and kind of go straight, and that just works your core and your back. And so I did that for an hour, trained there, and then I was pooped, and then I tried hot yoga for the first time like an hour ago. So my body's just destroyed. I feel like I got hit by a bus. Did a few miles of running the day before, and then again keeping up with my cold training. I'm probably going to do another cold bath when I get home tonight.
I wish I had time for anything physical.
I think
like
it's so important,
working
dude.
out.
If I didn't have time, I'd make time because it's just the thing is like with things like that, anything that you're working discipline, and you know this, is that once you get like a mini win, like a one success, it kind of like you're just riding the rest of that day of like good vibes. So you kind of like you feel like a win. So you get that small win, and then you carry that on, and then you make another win, and then another win, and like you really don't want to do it, but you do it anyway, and that just it snowballs, right? It cascades, and you're just always feeling good.
If I had access to a gym all the time and didn't have to pay for it or work there, I would probably work out a lot more.
Yeah.
I just don't. So for me, Planet Fitness sucks.
Yes.
Even like the Y is overran. It used to be like really nice going to the Y, and you pay a little extra. Now it's like I feel like I'd have to pay like $50-$60 for like a good membership that isn't overrun with a bunch of people and has like stuff I want to do, because like when I worked out heavy, I would go for like 3 hours at a time, and I would play basketball, and then I would work like for like an hour, and then I'd work out for like an hour, and then I'd go sit in the steam room for like an hour and just stretch
that's
out.
the best.
And like I was like, my soreness would just dissipate so quick because I'm sitting there like in the steam room,
Stretching,
like
yeah.
right after. So that goes into like discipline and everything, and
Purging the toxins.
except I don't know how disciplined I was, because I used to leave the gym. This is back when I smoked cigarettes. I used to leave the gym and just, as I'm walking out the door, just
Light up.
My friend's like, how the fuck are you doing that? Alright. Hey, Pan. You want to come on cam?
Yeah, so the thing is, like, actually, this works. If someone is watching right now that doesn't have a gym membership and they want to work out and they can't, but they can't afford a gym membership, or they just like it's just not feasible. They don't live near a gym. Outside.
Cool.
If I didn't have my family didn't own a gym, then I would be doing everything outside. I mean, most of the time I do things outside anyway. But like if you find a local park, most of the time they'll have a pull-up bar. And then like there's hills, there's a road you can run on.
Right
find
now,
a
though,
hill you can hike up.
I couldn't run outside. I'm all set. I hate cold. I just can't do cold.
Because it's really hard.
Yeah. I wonder if it has anything to do with my body temperature being lower. Like, my normal body temperature is like 96. Like, if I was to use a thermometer right this second, my temperature would probably be like somewhere between 95.8 and 96.3. It's weird.
That's low.
Yeah. So when I'm at like 98.5, I have a fever.
Interesting. Yeah. I mean, again, it's all like I think it's all in the head. Because you're saying this is miserable, I hate this, I hate this, I hate this. That's a constant loop in your head. It's just a matter of shutting that loop down and being like, I don't hate this. Just
I try
do
to
it.
think of
Just
Aruba
do
and it doesn't work.
No, you can't, because you're still thinking about, I wish I was warm, right? You gotta just mute it and just deal with it. Hold your breath, because the urge to breathe will be stronger, because that will kill you sooner. The whole reason why the cold is miserable is because it will kill you quickly. But not being able to breathe, i.e. holding your breath, that will kill you faster. So in your head, it takes precedence. So that's one way to kind of defeat the cold. And then you just you find like joy in it, overcoming it, getting colder than the cold, and it just drives you. At least it does for me. Yeah, it's empowering. I love the cold. I am so thankful that I live in an area that gets cold.
Not me, man. Throw me in San Diego forever.
You'll be good.
I'll be happy.
See, everybody's different.
Yeah. I still blame it on blood thinners. Like, my body's been screwed up ever since they threw me on blood thinners for a blood clot in my lung.
Yeah, that's terrifying.
Haven't been the same since, literally. 10 years later, still not the same. Worse, probably. Every year, every winter is, like, worse and worse.
I know.
Colorado wasn't as bad. Colorado, like, because of the humidity, I feel like the humidity even, it makes it less cold, because it's not, like, just going through all your layers. You can layer up in Colorado. Here, shit just goes right through me. Like, I can, like, walk up the stairs and feel the draft. I'm like, ugh.
You just hate
cold.
it.
Hate it so much.
I like extreme heat, too.
Yeah.
Because that's miserable. That's just as bad.
I don't even...
I love misery.
So, I lived in Arizona, and there would be, like, 125-degree days in the summer, but no humidity.
It'd be dry, so it'd be manageable, right?
It was fine.
It'd be like a sauna.
I would literally take 125 degrees in Arizona over 85 here.
And humid,
heavy. The
like,
humidity is nuts here, like nuts.
You can't even sweat.
No, your sweats.
Yeah, your sweat is useless because like it's not evaporating, so it's not even cooling you down.
Yep. Trying to think of anything else, if I had anything else on the topic list. Oh, the Talking Dead, who we have interviewed once. I interviewed myself as well for Sensi magazine. They are doing a giveaway on a bong right now. And normally I wouldn't put this up, but this bong is fucking epic. If you guys look at our page, and actually I'll post this on the Instagram for AA for Entrepreneurs, because I don't think I did. Did I post the picture of the big red bong? Okay, that was my own Instagram. So on AA for Entrepreneurs, I'll post that on that Instagram, showing you guys what Old Red looks like. It's like a 6-foot tall red bong with metal spikes coming out of it.
Monster.
Someone recreated a little mini version out of glass, and it's freaking epic looking.
That's so cool.
It's so epic. So actually, I'll post up Old Red, and I'll post up the contest with it in the post. So you guys
another
can see
thing,
that.
those guys are on fire. They just released their first novel, so that's out right now too.
And you missed it. So they kind of kept this under wraps. And love you, Ben. Don't tell me secret information, and I won't leak it out. It's not actually secret, but so they Still Toking is actually like a publishing thing that they wanted to get going, which is why they called it Still Toking.
Yeah.
I think that's what it's called.
So they started a publishing company.
They've had it, basically.
Okay.
And they just released their first comic that isn't Talking Dead.
Very interesting.
I'll figure out what it's called right now, because he just posted it up. But yeah, they've been super grinding, dude. Like, they're actually right now they're at the Burn Gallery doing a meet and greet. It's something up in Vermont. They're doing another show, Traders. It's called. Yeah. Yeah. See, that's all red.
Yeah.
Look at that thing, beauty.
What a beautiful piece.
Where the heck did this comic go?
That's okay.
We'll figure it out.
Tag it later.
Yeah, we'll make a Talking Dead post.
That's amazing. They're making moves.
Yeah.
I love seeing that entrepreneurial blood shine.
Yeah, and those guys, they've really freaking like inspired me to go super hard and that anything is possible, and they really think it's some cool ideas to make Comic-Cons better, because Comic-Cons, like anything, when you have too many of them, they start to go stale, right? You got to make it more fun, or else people will just stop going. Like, yeah, the appeal of going to see comics and stuff like that is cool, and then once in a while you get a celebrity in there that you like, but you got to innovate and come up with ideas, and the ideas that they're coming up with are freaking crazy, dude, and it's really bothering me that I can't find it, so I'm just going to give up. What else is going on? Oh, we need to set up interviews.
Yeah, we got to get some more interviews later. We'll talk.
Definitely, because I've had people waiting for months.
People reaching out.
We've had people waiting for months and months, but I think both of us were kind of waiting to get to this point.
Where we
aren't just a schmuck with a phone.
Yeah,
now we can bring this set up and look legit, and we are legit. And
yeah, we're getting high quality footage, audio and video, so it's actually something that is nice to
and
see.
it looks great for them too, you know. One of my it's not really a regret, but something we have to, I think, go back and fix is to re-interview Grow Smart.
Sure.
Because they didn't get the privilege of having the video because we had a bunch of failures that day.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
And
we
I
took
can't
some
wait
L's.
to talk to Token Dead again.
Yeah.
Can't wait to talk to
We'll
guys.
definitely talk to
It's
them.
been some time.
And then I'm looking next week's. I'm honestly looking to set up with Mr. Instagram. That's who I would like to get on.
So, Paulie?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
So I'm trying to talk to him. I'm trying to bribe him with some dinner, so he'll come here and have some dinner with us.
Cool.
And then we could podcast.
Be a dinner party. Be Friendsgiving.
Yeah, it's like Friendsgiving. A little late on Cyber Monday.
That's all right. That's all good.
Besides that, as usual, follow us on Instagram at AA for Entrepreneurs and at What Did Adam Say? Just drew it with a 1. And please, please, please leave us some feedback on this. We're looking for any kind of feedback on how we can make this podcast better. A lot of what's going on here is kind of feedback that we've gotten from listeners and watchers, and thank you.
Smash that subscribe button.
Hell yeah.
We'll talk to you guys later.
Boo.